Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rise of the Runelords. We've made it to session 50,
Wow.
and we are blazing ahead into the third book. Still in a bit of downtime. And yeah, doing your shopping. I will. Oh my god. I hate this. I hate this. Not that. Not that. I don't like this folder system, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So we were headed basically from here to here, right? Last we checked.
No, we were heading to the theater deeper in Ardelia.
Oh, okay.
I want to
And
get a
then we
pair
were
of those
gonna circle
glasses
around.
on the stick.
Oh, the binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they likely have them there. We're walking. Mr. Belfry, why don't you try on that arm of yours, see if it fits while we're
Yeah.
walking?
I kind of line up the whole of the arm and see if it'll fit onto my arm. All right. See if it registers my nerves.
Right. You
Possessed.
you strap on this dwarf arm and I mean you're certainly new to this amputee thing. But it does seem to, in a way, after a bit of finagling as you're walking, sort of hum to life. And while giving off no magical essence, its mechanical self does seem to respond. Not perfectly, I will admit. There seem to be some issues still to be worked out. As Billiver said, it's not in perfect condition, but it does function, and it does function as your arm would, rather than a hinged elbow.
All right. Well, seems to be functioning. Would it be possible later on to take like engineering checks to see if I could tweak it to be a bit more, to have a bit more finesse and like line up with my nerves a bit better?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Yeah, it's just an adjustment period. Seems
Looks
to
like
be working fine.
Looks like you just need a little bit of oil to it.
And elbow grease.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
How far is this theater?
Oh, shouldn't be far at all. I think you all would quite like it. I used to visit here often. It's rather, if you are tired of dealing with nobility and the arrogant words that they give, well, you might find yourself with quite the chuckle at the Rosenrake. Let's just say that this is the one place where nobility isn't so noble, if you understand what I'm saying.
Satire.
Or do you perhaps mean there is no distinguishment between the classes? That everyone's equal here?
Oh no, unfortunately not. What your friend, Mr. Arden, said is more so the case. It's rather unfortunate that Ordelia, being considered its own part of the city, is somewhat looked down upon, but I do my best to keep it together if the others won't.
I see.
And
I see.
what better place to get the people of Ordelia up and at 'em than the Rose and Rake Theater?
Indeed.
Do you have a say in what happens at the theater?
Oh, that would rather be... I think some would look down upon that, considering the amount of donations I give to the theater. But... all that to say, no. The lady of the theater is the one who has the final say, even if I do sprinkle in some gold here and there. They take their craft a bit more serious than gold.
Oh, that's...
Well, good on them.
I agree.
As long as they're spreading a positive message.
That
don't
means that
wanna-
some asshole can't come in and pay him a bunch of money to get his agenda across, right?
Oh, trust me, if anyone tried that, they'd be waking up to a visit by a certain friend of ours.
Yes. I believe it was the red short sword.
Yeah, something like that. They'll take great care of your donation. It will see that those within Ordelia and those lesser off will end up with coin in their hand, rather than those nobles, as I said, who like to look down on them.
I would hope that it feeds some starving kids or less fortunate kids.
And, well, I will be joining you all to continue on adventures, which may take my work out of Magnamar. I can guarantee you that it will find those starving kids and lesser off folk.
Do you have a sort of proxy to take care of your business while you're away?
I have some people within the theater itself that I know.
Wonderful.
I can't give away all of my secrets, perhaps, but
Not asking.
I can tell you all, since we have joined forces together, that one might consider the whole of Ordelia as my proxy.
Well, you are certainly covered.
Unlike other nobility, I'm quite well known here. Considering I am one of the only nobles in the capital district who actually seem to take care of those down here.
And good on you for that, sir.
I would tip my hat if I had one.
I tip my horns at you.
And if you have any questions about Ordelia, or you want to know the local rumors or whatnot, the Rose and Rake is a perfect place for you.
Fair. Sounds like fun.
As you walk through the streets of Ordelia, which you can absolutely tell consists of the odd folk, as it were, from gnomes to dwarves to half-orcs and all similar manner of different individuals. You do actually, as you're passing by, see a few smiles and head nods towards Alistair, and you come across a rather hefty-sized circular playhouse with an open-air top. And you
Is
see
that it?
a relevant sign with a rose and 3 scratch marks across the sides. Clearly ornamental, not
So is
not
it
from
in
any
the
sort of attack.
is it in the east or the west of Ordelia? If you wanted to ping it on the map, that would also, if you know exactly where it is, that would be. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm just curious.
It's here.
Oh, did you ping something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere.
All right, cool.
So Billivens is actually
Nice.
deep within the heart of Ordelia, and this circle next to the main road is your
The theater?
theater. Yes.
I got it
so-
right. Hooray!
We probably walked past
I
it
guessed
on the way to
right.
Billivens. Well,
Yeah.
we probably might not have actually, considering that was when I was the vigilante and I took you guys through the shadows.
Right, it's true. Depending on where the shadows lie that we used.
Mhm.
It was probably just like a underground sewer system that took us from here to here to here.
And then
did
back
that
up
number.
north. And then back up north a couple of miles, and then back south. Making it.
Yeah, that's my trick. You see, I didn't actually climb through Cece's window. I just went through the sewer system. I went up into the tavern, and I just walked up the stairs and said hello.
I thought that was going to end with you coming out of the
climbed
can.
Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, so
Anyways.
this theater here.
It's actually along the way back towards the other merchants anyway, so it kind of makes sense that we're stopping by.
Yes, everyone, welcome to the theater. I'll go see if the lady of the theater is in. Feel free to mingle. Feel free to watch a show if they're playing any. It's quite a fun place.
Well, yes. I in the future, I would love to take in a show.
And Alistair will walk off into the theater to try and find who he's looking for.
Yeah, of course. Alistair, as you are walking through the halls that you know ever so well, you can see that there is a performance going on that is near its start, but has certainly started and is getting into its runtime. And so it really takes you no time at all to find your taller, dark-skinned Mwangi friend. Alistair, it's good to see you.
It is good to see you as well. I apologize for my time since my last visit, but I have some friends you would like to meet. I bring some acquaintances who have joined me in some work about the city, and they wish to bring quite the hefty donation to the Rosenrake.
I wave.
Is that so? That's very generous of you.
I mean, kids are always the victim when poverty is rampant, and in a big city like this, I know that there's got to be plenty of people displaced, orphans who cannot fend for themselves, and I think it's wrong that those people not be protected.
Well, I will say that we are better off than if you take us, but it will never go to a poor use.
Except for
We
use
can
on the
always
poor.
help those.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. I see my
Introduce me to your friend.
Yes, I'm sorry, my manners. It has been a long day, but that is no excuse. Just confirming this is the same person, the elven woman. So I
sounded
have
like
that
she was
confirmed.
human. Because Mwangi is human, right? I could be wrong. I don't know.
Okay. I think I understand what's going on.
Who am I talking to? I don't know you.
I'm sure you've had plenty of time. I think I've brought you to a different individual. But she still does very much appreciate any kind of
As long as she's feeding the
interaction.
poor.
But this is Lady Ansa Shivarlu.
Name.
Good old Pathfinder names. Love to see them.
Is this an official person? Because I didn't find it when I was writing my backstory.
Yes, this is the playwright and head of politics in this place. But we'll call this your formal introduction back to the Rosenrake, and we will get you to. No backing. Osir in time.
Yeah, that's. I was worried. I was like, I even had that thought before this session. I was like, oh, do I have my notes right? Because I didn't find any official names when I was writing my backstory except for Billivin. So I just came up with stuff.
Well, she appreciates your donation and lets you be on your way.
Yeah, I'm like, you can see how long of a day it's been. But it is good to see that the Rosenrake is in good hands. You can clearly see it has not been some time since my last visit.
That is all right. It's good to see you around. Have a good day, Alistair.
You as well.
Um,
I just look at Vare and I'm like, well, Apologies for the introduction to the wrong or right person.
He seemed lovely.
Yes, the Rosen Rake changes, and I guess I've lost track of the names and members of this place. I was looking for, who I know here, the impresario, an elven lady. It's... I knew her when I was young, here in the Rosen Rake, so maybe things have changed. I would hope not.
Well, Alistair, as you do make some sizable donations, the head of this establishment would tend to seek you out as well. So that's just what happens. So now you can, like, hooray, you've made your appearance. Let's get a little further into the shadows and the woodwork of this place to avoid more attention.
Right. So we hand over the money, and I suppose we could just exit at that point.
I also
yes.
would give my own donation, but then I turn to Ver and I say, we could leave, but it does seem like that your friends have taken a liking to one of the shows. Perhaps a little bit of time wouldn't hurt.
Fair. Make it look like we're not in a hurry. I get what you say. I get what you mean. I see the wisdom. We can wait a little while, and I'll also observe the show that's going on.
So, yeah, Alistair, seeing as you are in a more social persona, you didn't quite need to slink around, and that made people notice you. So you do slip off to the more secluded location, where you are certainly more likely to find closer accomplices.
Perfect. And if I find someone maybe walking down an aisle or whatever, or a hallway in these areas, I am asking where I could find who I am looking for.
Give me a perception check. Perhaps they're out today.
Oh. Perception. Ooh, you know what? Hold on a second. I almost rolled from the Crimson Dagger. He's not here.
Womp womp womp. Crisis averted, everybody. Don't worry.
All right. So, Alistair, as you are working your way around to your familiar companions, as well as some fresh blood, you would say, you do spot from across the aisle. Not literally, you are in a more backstage working area. A more lithe elven lady. One familiar to you.
Perfect. Is Ver still with me, or is Ver also taking a seat to watch the show?
Well, if you are doing stuff, I'm probably gonna do stuff too. So I'm not terribly interested in the show at the moment, but I'll go with you.
It's always nice to have a big man.
Yep.
So I will approach the elven woman, and I will say, Lady Osir, how good to see you today. And I'll do a nice little bow.
From her seated position, she returns a formal bow.
Variable
Alistair
bow.
Beaumont,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
within my presence once again. How has your acting taken you?
I would say it's taken me quite well. My acting has proved pretty useful considering it is what's been used to finally take down that horrid tower in the Underbridge. But,
You don't say.
and for introductions, may I introduce one of those fellow actors? And he gives a wink both towards Ver and the lady and says,
Acting.
I would like to introduce a recent donor to the Rosen Rake, Mr. Ver Arden. Mr. Ver Arden. This is the impresario of the theater, Lady Ilaria Osir.
Pleasure, I'm sure. Does she offer her hand or
She would.
quick peck on the hand? Takes it in his index finger and I don't think yeah. It's tiny in my hand. I kiss it. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my business to talk about his donation, so Mr. Arden, if you would like to, I know we have already passed it along, but if you would like to discuss your donation.
Ah, yes. Of course. Well, I am interested in seeing that people that don't have a lot of money still can eat, live, and get medicine and stuff like that. Because I don't think those things should be based on, how many shiny coins you have, but I mean, that's the way the world is. So if I have a surplus, I will look to see the poor and downtrodden bolstered.
You make good company, Alistair.
I beam, and my sharp teeth just become on full display.
Ver's red eyes suddenly go cyclops. He beams.
No, not this too.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's fine. Yes. So that is the amount of money I'll hand you right now. This 2.5 K.
Delightful.
And yes, I really want the orphans to, be able to, afford clothes that don't have holes in them, and et cetera, food in their stomach, hot food, water, clean water. And
This will be able to provide quality footwear and clothing to last them a good long while.
I'm sure it will. And I'm sure you are trustworthy too. I look
I'm
at
an
her.
actor, but that doesn't mean that I lie all the time.
Artanis. Alistair chuckles at the trustworthy line.
Yes. Yeah. I was poor, and so I know what it's like to go without food. So that's That's what I'm on about. Oh yes. I'd like to make the donation in the name of one Officer Dedrin, if you don't mind.
Oh,
I would like to
suppose.
dedicate it to him. A good someone who really helped. Really, he had such potential, but it got snuffed out, and so I kind of want to put his name. I just want a plaque for him or something, you know. And
I
yeah,
can put some of that to that use, yes?
thank you. Yeah, and I would prefer that it be anonymous. I don't want my name on it.
Of course.
Okay, cool. We're done here.
Speaking of names, this very much can have my name on it, and I will hand over my own little
And
pouch
if
of
and
donation.
if you want to put my money under his umbrella of money, that's okay too.
He doesn't know your
Nice.
backstory.
Right?
Yeah.
True. And it is the way that it started. Money umbrella,
Yeah.
yes.
Donations are accepted.
I will look at Ver and I will say, Ver, I must have some words alone, preferably. If you would like to join your friends at the show, you're more than welcome. But if
Yeah.
you want to stay and just keep an ear out or an eye out, I wouldn't say no to that either.
Okay. I will I'm already here, so I will keep a lookout for you.
Perfect. And I'll kind of lean in to Lady Ilaria and say, I will be leaving Magmar. Possibly tomorrow. And that is Alistair who is leaving Magnamar. So I would appreciate it if you could get word to some of the other actors that we have under knowledge of to possibly make use of your costumes and just make sure that our other friend is still seen within the city.
She considers for a moment, raising her brow and looking down at the purses of money currently in her lap, tracing a long elven finger along the threading. It may take away a little bit of the donation funds, but you've held up your end of the bargain. So we will too. How long might I expect you out?
I'm not entirely sure, which is why, while I'm gone, I will have it arranged that the donations do not stop. Just because I'm out of the city doesn't mean that my support will suddenly disappear.
Delightful news. Absolutely.
Perfect. I appreciate our conversations as always.
As I with you.
You know.
Go on. Do your busy work wherever it is you need to go.
Well, he kind of stands back up and speaking out loud this time, so people backstage and Ver can hear him. With somewhat of a chuckle, he goes, "Well, you know us nobility so well. People to see, people to pay, paperwork to deal with, rather important stuff."
My smile just keeps on getting wider.
Oh, it'd be a shame for one such as me to be pulled away from my work. And gives another kind of half smile towards Lady Ilaria. As he's kind of walking backwards, almost.
And she places a hand under her chin, watching you back out.
Tough crowd.
I wave. I wave as I go. Nice to meet you.
Good to make your acquaintance. And she waves in a polite but shooing manner.
When we're in like a hallway or out of the backstage, he says, Alistair says to Ver, "Oh, I really never was able to convince her I was a good actor. Maybe one of these days."
Maybe we can run scenes together.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe once all of this is over, we can enjoy our time and, you'd make quite a good actor, I'd say. You'd certainly make for good muscle in the plays.
Yeah, I could probably get those stages set up pretty damn fast. And if somebody attacks, I'd be a hell of a bouncer.
That's true. There'd be good money in it. You'd be able to fend off all those nobles like me who try ruining the fun.
And save the people that are being taken advantage of, perhaps, too.
Perhaps. Now we should find what show your friends are watching, shall we?
Yes, indeed. You make me feel fancy, Alistair.
Well, if it's anything, I like to feel fancy myself, so as long as I'm around, I can assure you that all of you will likely feel fancy.
Indeed.
One might even say indubitably.
One might even gamble to do that.
And
What
walk
is-
off to find the others.
Yeah, I'm following. We're walking.
This conversation's just happening out loud and
Right, as we were walking over.
yeah.
There are some actors as you pass by back into the main area that are looking a little confused and like scoffing at you. Not all of them, but they take note of your loud and self-congratulating conversation.
You should be careful. I pay your salary, I say to one of them. No, I don't.
Wow, 180 for Ver, like
Yeah.
oh, he's a bad boss. Wow. Okay.
No.
Ver didn't like that.
Ver disapproves.
Right, exactly.
It's like a
He's on the
telltale
top
game.
left.
Yeah.
Right.
Ver
I was
will
thinking-
remember this.
I don't say that,
exactly.
though, of course.
Right. Mm-hmm. Frickin'
Fair disapproves. God damn it. Load the last save. When was the last time we did that?
Right, yeah.
Damn it.
Dang it, I
You
cannot
You gotta
lose
go all the way.
that. Gotta
you gotta
be
go
perfect.
all the way back to session 23 when Dedrick
Oh,
was alive.
wow.
Damn.
Damn. Sorry for your damn luck. Just kidding. At any rate, so we make our way over to that there theater play.
What's the show they're going on? I don't think
Right.
Alistair would, if it's like a room, or like an opening area. Alistair wouldn't fully make himself appear to the crowds. He doesn't want to take away the spotlight.
Sure. Well, this is one of the more well-run plays that you remember. This is a scathing social satire of Corvosan nobility and politicians, actually. The Magnamarians are involved in this play and made fun of alike, but this one focuses on the stumblings of Magnamar's sister town in Varesia.
A fun one. I have a dumb question, considering I should know this, considering I wrote a lot about it in my backstory. Just so I have description correct, is this the Rosenreich Theater? Is it an actual building, or is it like an amphitheater, like open?
It's. I
like
mean, the stage
half-half.
certainly is a open air amphitheater, but there are there is a large building nearby serving as offices for actual members of the Council of Ushers and for political happenings. Though, of course, the amphitheater is wonderful for announcements and such anyway.
Okay, so then rather standing in a doorway when he like enters to see the play, Alistair will just kind of like go to one of the upper back seatings and motion him. When we enter, can I do a to see where C?
Kind of going in and out. Bye.
You may make that perception check.
Why? Okay.
Well, it's
What was
robotic.
the last thing you heard?
Oh, I think you're trying to make a perception check to see Cece in the crowd.
Okay, hold on.
We're pilous.
Do we see him looking at us?
It would be behind you, so that would only really be relevant if you were paying attention to around
Anything
and behind you
got it.
anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
enjoying
let's
the play.
see how I work now.
Typical
you
little
sound
buzzes
fine.
from now and then, but I can actually hear you get through a sentence.
Okay, what I said was I'm going to sit in the back and pat on another seat for Ver to join me, and I would like to do a perception check if it's a big crowd to see where Cece and Artanis are seated.
It's a big enough crowd, yeah.
Okay.
After a little bit of searching, going back between paying attention to the artistes and looking for your group's little princess, you do spot her and her pinkish white hair. I don't actually think it's pinkish. I think that's just what I'm seeing.
Headcanon?
Oh, yeah. No, you're so right. Iridescent hair, which, as you also see, draws some other people's attention.
Does it look like they're enjoying themselves?
I can answer that because we don't have player agency here. Kidding. Cece, how's it going?
It's actually a really good show. She's never seen something like this before, and with her past things like the theater and entertainment and being out and about and being around crowds and stuff like that, that's not something that she's particularly used to, and not being the center of attention when it comes to entertainment, it is also kind of a relief. So she's very thoroughly enjoying herself, and she's very engrossed in the play, laughing when people are laughing, booing when people are booing. Like, she's definitely like one with the crowd right now.
Yay, active participation.
Participation.
How about Mr. One Arm?
Mr. One Arms, he's enjoying the show too. It's not like something he's seen before. He's been to plays in Magnamar with his family, but those were when his father and Desmond would be like socializing and like getting together with like other higher ups. So the shows were a lot more classical, and it doesn't really jab at other things because it's trying to be politically correct. So it's kind of refreshing to see that, oh, shows like this exist.
Yes, this is very much a punching upwards play. I will also say, Alistair, because Artanis is next to Cece, so it's very easy to spot. It is a little bit comical for you, as you know, the clockwork arm is almost of perfect length. Dwarves have quite large arms for their stature, so it is almost of equal length to his arm. However, dwarves are also incredibly stocky, and so it looks like he has a pauldron over an incredibly thick arm. And for one who prioritizes agility and precision over raw strength, it's interesting, to say the least.
Alistair cracks a small smile, and all he thinks to himself is, well, he's not really out of place here in Ordelia.
No, he's not.
And he'll look to Vare sitting next to him and say, I think those are your friends there, a couple rows down. If you'd like to join them, they seem to be having a good time. I myself am going to stay up here. I'd rather not be too noticed.
Okay. So I guess I'll see you later then.
See you when the show is over.
Indeed. And I take my leave and head clanking down to the 2.
Ver, we saved you a seat. 2 seats.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Yes, and you watch collectively the seat behind you clears Vare, despite the raised seating. But other than that, you make it through the rest of the play.
I see.
Of truly interesting one indeed.
And the last half of it to boot.
Mm-hmm.
Or the last
bringing you
bit
to
of
laugh, bringing you to a couple of people to tears.
Can I make a knowledge local to see if I find it funny? No, just kidding. I don't have knowledge local.
What kind of knowledges do you have, if any?
I
Probably
don't
just
believe
like
I have
engineering.
any of them. Let me check. I have a profession, cook. I mean, I could take one, but I mean,
No.
as a fighter, I'm only proficient in engineering and dungeoneering. So maybe I'd take one of those, but I haven't as yet. So yeah, I'm ready to go look for that wand that I want to purchase.
Yeah.
Ver says out loud to them as the play gets over.
Oh yeah, sorry. I got really engrossed in it when it first started
No,
and couldn't break my
don't
sight.
don't be sorry, Cece. You look like you were really enjoying yourself.
Oh, it was so good. And as they get up, she like kind of regaled like the first half of the play for Bear. Just not even
Wow.
giving a care in the world.
That was a quick one. Yeah, nice. Wow,
It was so good.
you obviously really enjoyed it. I must admit that the satire kind of fell on deaf ears for me because I don't really understand what's going on, but I could understand that somebody is an asshole and they don't like him.
Yes, it's very political, but even if my former peers were on the receiving end of that satire, I could enjoy the punch to the jokes. And honestly, it's nice to relax like this. Seems like not too far from now, we'll be engrossed in more violent matters again.
Mm-hmm. It's time to put our lives on the line again.
Right. Shall we go?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm ready to head a little bit north. Is where that crazy guy said that the wand was crazy magical, like, guy. Yeah, around that. Maybe up in Keystone? It could be wrong. But yeah, no, actually, I think that's how far you were pointing. Yes, any rate. So I'm just gonna go across the bridge and look for shops. Because he seemed to just detect where the item might be. He didn't say any sort of store, so it might be somebody privately holding one that doesn't want to sell. So if there's like a temple or a shop there, magic item shop there, I'm going to investigate it. But if it's just if it's just like private residences, I'm not gonna go knocking on doors.
Right.
Traveling.
Hold on. Getting to a message. But yes, you make your way to Ivor Islet.
Definitely writing hope.
And
If not, because it's been a while and like. Yeah.
as everyone leaves the theater, Alistair outside asks them, "So, how'd you like the play?"
It was nice. It was funny.
Yeah, I got some of the jokes.
I thought it was great. I've never been to something like that before, so it was very entertaining.
Well, perhaps you'll have to come again. We always appreciate regulars here at the Rose and Rake.
I'm certain we'll become regulars if we survive.
When we survive.
Don't think like that, my good friend.
Well, when you see,
Don't focus on things like
it's
that.
a cold world.
Mr. Arden, focus on the fancy.
At least
Fancy.
we were able to get a break.
Yeah, a break is nice.
Break is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And perhaps you could get one more at the end of all of this. if you all would like, rather than sleeping in that tavern, you have an open invitation to join me at my home before leaving Magnamar, perhaps for a drink. I don't have many guest rooms, but something could be accommodated.
I sleep on floors, so I'm down. I want to see your fancy ass house.
It's not all too fancy, but it is the home of a noble, so I do my best with it.
I've been reminded recently by a friend that I need to lock the windows more often. Does your room have windows that I can lock?
He chuckles and says, I can assure you that the windows lock pretty excellent.
Then I see no reason why we couldn't take you up on your offer.
But before then, what's on the next? What's on the list? Where to next?
Yes. That I'm thinking that gentleman with the magic shop pointed me in the direction of the island north of here, across the bridge, as a place where I might find what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go over there and look for a shop and see if one's there.
As a local, could I try and figure out what is in the area that Billivin detected?
Nice.
Yes, you would be able to. That would be a knowledge local.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Let me just look at something real quick. Whoop.
I might as well put some points in
Okay.
when I hit level 9 to some knowledges. Why the hell not? No things.
Knowledge local. 17.
17. Well. You know that there are some shops in Keystone. You also know that there are churches,
Yes.
and there are 7 major deities worshipped throughout Magnamar. One of which, making a little sense to you, is Sarenrae.
Nice.
So there's a Church of Sarenrae.
There is a
That-
church of Sarenrae.
So, and I will tell Vare, well, there are a few shops in Keystone, but if I had to take a guess, Billivin likely is sending us to the Church of Sarenrae.
Yeah.
Any
That sounds as right. It sounds as right as anything. It would make sense that I'd have to go to a church. And if it's a major church, then that would make sense. So let's head there.
what about shops that would sell magical headbands?
Well, I'm familiar with the Billivins. Let me think on this for a moment. And I'm gonna find like a nearby rock or something to lean on.
Of course.
And I'm going to reach into a bag that I have, and I'm gonna take out a map. A map of the city. And I'm gonna consult the map, which will give me a +2 bonus when trying to identify locations within the city.
It's got goofy little cartoons and simplifications of the whole of Magnamar.
So if I could do a knowledge local, just find if I know of any shops that might be selling anything similar to what
You can give me a knowledge. Yeah, you can give me a knowledge local. You can also give me a raw intelligence check as well.
So both.
Yes, same with UCC for the intelligence check.
Knowledge local. Ooh.
Womp womp womp.
Okay, got it. Intelligence.
And then straight int, huh?
Oof, man, ouch. Oof, owie.
All right. Well, if you are able to recover this information yourself, I'll obviously let you have that information. There was a discussed location, but neither of you are able to quite recall.
So I was there
where
at
exactly?
Billivan's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
shall
I
make a-
remember. I remember Billivan's. I remember the arms store, and then I remember there was another store he pointed out for the
Arms store.
stones.
Arm store. So we're rolling intelligence to remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll 1d20
Remember
flat.
check.
A remember check.
Okay, 1d20 flat. Plow! I got the highest.
There, in your undying care for the princess, you recall for her struggles that I'm probably going to mess up the exact name, but Billivan had a recent deal go down with another merchant in Beacon's Point at the Seeing Eye on the coast of Beacon's Point.
There goes the seeing eye.
Made specifically to attract some tourist schmucks coming in to Magnamar.
Interesting. Yep, the seeing eye. That's where we got to go after the Church of Sarenrae.
Okay, thanks for remembering.
No worries. I was
Well, then.
particularly paying attention to what that man had to say. He
Yes.
seems mad,
I-
but he hides a wisdom, as some mad people do.
I tend to tune him out. And he'll wrap up his map, put it back in his bag, and say, well, church or shop?
Church.
Church first.
All right.
And I guess I'll lead the way to the church.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Do you have a steed that you ride?
I do not. I am taking a leisurely stroll through the city. I have a cane. I'm walking with a cane.
Fair. Are you guys taking the wagon, y'all?
Yep, we're on the wagon. I don't suppose, and I wouldn't deign to invite Alistair to ride in the back.
Bear doesn't really have a notion of those things and offers a seat on the back of Hope.
I appreciate it, but it is all right. It has been some time since I've taken my own stroll through the city, so
All right.
a good
he
walk
slows.
is
He slows.
nice.
He slows Hope down to a canter then, and enjoys the sights, as it were, across the bridge and whatnot.
As in, like,
Yeah.
the mill.
Well, I
Cars are
mean,
outside.
yeah, it is pretty. It's not the greatest view, but like,
That's a sad view. We're like, that's where our friend died. Great.
yeah, fun stuff. Whee! Any rate, just looking, yeah. That other side is nice too. Look at that little piece of land there. That's kind of cute, right?
As we're kind of walking, if Artanis is also going slow with the cart, Alistair kind of goes to the side of the cart, If there's no one around, he kind of looks around and makes sure it's just them side by side, like no other people walking by or whatever. When the mill is pointed out, Alistair kind of side whispers and says, "You know, I've been wondering about that since we've met. I'm surprised you didn't say anything, considering you very clearly saw me that day."
Well, we had other things
Did I
on our
say
mind.
Rare or Artanis? I think I said Artanis.
Yeah, it's Artanis. My bad.
Uh,
I know what happened.
well, to be fair, at the time, we were strictly in a state of damage control, and we were being arrested for crimes that were perceived. Though it did help when we saw you the next time. I was certain you were on our side.
Just a word of advice. I do hate to lump you into Cece as well, but similar to leaving the window open, I would suggest the next time you see a mysterious figure with glowing eyes watching you from across a riverbank, you do something about it.
Well, I mean, I'm
Similar to
capable
locking
of,
your windows at night.
well, I'm capable of a few things, but I can't really cross that much water in quite a short amount of time to catch you. And my throwing arm isn't what it used to be.
Yeah. We, at that point, that was dang. Yeah,
Well,
long time ago.
all I would suggest is maybe say something to someone or send something out. Us, if there are
Yeah.
more than us, and by us I mean vigilantes, tend to keep an eye on the city they watch. We know what happens. But as long as you remember that, and he kind of talks a bit louder this time so the others can hear him, and you make sure to keep your windows locked, we should be in good company.
It's at this point that all of the dumb crap that Ver's done across, like, we did a lot of good, but we did it really sloppily, and that kind of sinks in. But he begins to steel himself because we're going on. We're going on. We're prepared now. We know what we did wrong.
Well, I suppose it's a comfort knowing that someone who's a bit more sensible about these security issues will be traveling with us.
Yeah, it's very true.
But I will remember what you have told me.
And kind of an aside to so Artanis. And by the way, I believe we murdered that Ironbriar guy, and pretty sure he was innocent.
What makes you say that?
Because what was that Zanesh's first move on me?
To dominate you? That move?
Yeah, that one.
Are you
So
saying this
then-
just to Artanis, or...
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm speaking with Artanis, yes.
So then you suspect that she had the judge under her thumb.
He said as much.
Right. Well,
She liked to gloat.
that's not exactly something that was within our power to.
I know. I just wanted to say it to someone.
Well,
It's
I do think you're correct.
partially why I made that large donation.
Well, I can share some of the shame if that were possible.
Well, that's all right.
No, Ver, it seems like you wish to atone for many things, but
Well, I know that
I'll tell
I
you.
can take down these evil bastards, and when my blood is stained with their blood, when my sword is stained with their blood, then maybe I can atone. But I have to see this through. I can't stop halfway.
I understand, but
This
there's more to atonement than
I know.
Wanton destruction. There's more to both you and me than just fighting.
But I've got to do this.
You have my support. I'll make sure you don't fall.
He grasps his arm and
Which one?
goes back. Actually, the flesh one. He's gonna go offhand.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can, because your left hand is real, right?
Yes, my left hand is real.
So yeah, I can just use my right and kind of give you the old warrior's handshake and say thank you. And
since I was walking close to them, could I do something to have overheard the conversation?
Probably.
I suppose so.
your perception will probably suss it out.
Would it be perception?
I guess that depends on how you want to do it. Or do you want to get close enough that they would notice? Or do you want to be far enough away that you don't have to stealth, but you need to still eavesdrop?
My thought was I was walking close the entire time. Like, he was talking to Artanis and still was kind of side by side with Artanis.
Well, I guess really I'm just talking in my normal voice, so probably you would be able to hear it. To be honest. Because I mean, if we're this close, it would be conspicuous because he's driving a wagon and I'm driving a horse.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take you into our confidence, and you can have heard that.
And okay.
So just
I
saying
can't help
that
but think we. Okay. Because I think when you're talking about atonement and everything, Alistair probably would have brought up and said something like, if you want to talk about atonement, I know someone who atones for some of the greatest in this city. I know someone who has countless deaths on their hands and yet still puts their own life for the city every day. So know there, Artanis, atonement, don't seek it out to the despair of yourselves. Don't think of it like that. Because as long as you are helping people, any deaths or any bad feelings and ill will you may have on your mind mean nothing compared to the lives you have saved and the people who can smile with their children and those who can rest tight in their beds at night away from the dangers that you have taken care of.
Yes.
Almost sounds like Dedrin, but kinder.
Yes, well, most in the guard are kind of assholes.
Oh, do you know Dedrin?
I saw him when you walked into the city, when I was made aware of your entrance. I know that the guard aren't easy to work with, considering I do their job for them.
Indeed. I like the way you put it. And I strive to strive to protect people going forward. And next time I'll do different.
And if it makes you feel any better, even if he was under control, even when he wasn't, Ironbriar was not that good of a man.
Good.
It would have been likely sooner or later that he would have found entrance by our friend.
Okay. Good. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was just a piece of shit and he wasn't being controlled, you know? I could be misreading the situation. But
perhaps the
those
control that
faces.
Zanesha was talking about was just completely vocal and non-magical.
Yeah, maybe she had something over him.
Well,
Or yeah, who knows?
either
Alice,
way, we're here.
Yay! The Church of Sarenrae.
Cece will slip in one thing to this whole conversation, having sitting.
Yeah, I was gonna say the entire time
listening.
Cece's been sitting there.
Just sitting, just listening to the whole thing, and as we're kind of unloading and the topics just kind of ended, Cece just very softly goes, "People will exchange anything they can for power. So, he may have been under her control, but most power comes with a choice. Just keep that in your mind, too." And she'll get off. She'll get off the cart with that statement.
Yeah, except when it doesn't. Except when there's magic. But yes, I take your point. Thank you. Anyhow, I walk on in. This devil.
Mm-hmm.
I walk on into the church. Who greeteth me?
DC stays outside.
I think Alistair would probably walk in with Vare because he knows the city.
Well, Artanis isn't gonna leave Cece alone.
All right.
But I'll probably have a conversation with Cece, RP wise.
Right. Well, as you do enter, you do see parishioners around, and you notice, as it isn't hard to notice, all of them carry scimitars, filigreed scimitars to represent the sunlight. They do notice you. And one half-elf man comes right up to you. Vare, saying, "Hello, stranger, and welcome to the House of Sarenrae.
Thank you.
The Dawnflower, the Cleansing Light, welcomes you here. So long as your atonement is free of your," and he does gesture, "lineage." And you can see in his eyes, he's not like looking down upon you physically or metaphorically.
Right.
He is a little fearful because there is a, level 7 fighter who's also
8
of fiend blood, level 8 fighter who is also of fiend blood.
Oh, don't worry about my lineage. I know that can't assuage your fear of
Yes.
my ancestry, and I accept. I accept it because, frankly, my lineage sounds like it is a bunch of evil, and I don't believe that evil is the way that this world should be run.
Alistair is going to pipe in and say, I can assure you that Mr. Arden here is quite a good man. In fact, he even comes here today seeking assistance and help from your good god goddess Sarenrae.
And indeed, if you were to give me this help that I requested, a hefty sum would come into your hands. I'm talking. I'll stop beating around the bush now. I would like to buy a potion or a wand of cure moderate wounds.
I see. That is hefty indeed.
Indeed. And just how much I've heard that it's expensive. I've got quite a bit of money. I don't quite know if I have enough. How much?
Yes, quite. I will go with my sister to see what we have in store.
Very well.
And he will walk back and gesture to one of the others walking past, and they head into another room.
You know, Vera, you are handling yourself better than most when someone just told them that they might be lesser than them.
I can tell that he doesn't think I'm lesser than him.
I can assure you that
And if he does, it matters not to me what he holds in his heart.
it is a good thought to have with you. I do think that those here do not look down on you. I do think that rather they side with you from that interaction. While they may be not the most open to someone of your stature, which you do have to admit,
Yes,
is rather to
daunting.
the average person.
Daunting.
I do think that they mean you well.
To put it lightly.
Yes,
daunting.
to put it in good words.
Quite. What was that word? Indubitably? Yes, indubitably.
Yes.
It's canon that you just taught me the word.
I do not think I will regret one bit teaching you that word.
Indeed.
The two of them.
Indubitably. It just rolls off the tongue.
Ouch.
Uh-oh.
All good. Just needed a second.
Cool.
The two of them return, empty-handed. They the man comes up with a bright smile and says, "We do seem to be able to accommodate you, but I must ask of what amount you would be willing to tithe for this. It is a very useful instrument for us, and we cannot be handing these out."
I well understand. So what would you say if I told you 2,500?
For that, we have we do have 3 wands. One of them has been freshly created. The others have been used to varying degrees. We would be able to part with, for that amount of gold, with the half used wand.
What about 3,000?
That would grant you the mostly filled wand. Yes.
And when we say mostly filled, the exact language would be?
I believe if the inspection is if the records are kept well, there are 37 charges remaining.
So then, how about 3.5K?
I am sorry, but we only have 3 wands of
Oh, I was just
moderate gearing.
So that is for the 3K. You'll give me the one that's mostly full, and that's the most full you have.
We have a fresh one, but we would ask for a full price of 4,500 in donations for that wand. It takes quite a bit of materials to.
Well, that was what I was looking for. So let me just see what I got right here.
While he counts the coin that he is deciding to graciously gift upon your church, surely we could think about bringing down the price, yes? Look at him. I do not mean to call out what he is, but you are staring at a black-skinned, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Black-skinned, horned, I do apologize, my good friend, devil, standing in your great church of Serenray. He is here to gift you some coin and assist your great church. While I understand these are freshly crafted items, surely something like this miracle, this goodwill from someone as himself coming in here and wishing to actively give you money and support, we could maybe work out a better price.
Give me a diplomacy check with a heavy disadvantage. I'm putting -4 on that.
Okay, that's fair.
Trying to get money out of God people.
Yeah,
Plus,
man. Hey, listen, I gotta try. I'm a noble.
Yeah,
Noble
no
versus
worries,
religion.
dog. I hope
Right.
you succeed. I want you to.
We'll see. I don't know how to put minuses, so it's whatever this is -4.
Come on. Oh, well, I mean, that's not.
15, okay.
Middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like not 15.
The woman speaks up this time. We are not one to be judging the origins or material nature of individuals. More so who they are on the inside, and we find your comments a bit unnecessary for this interaction. We would be willing to drop the price a little bit.
It's really no problem. I understand that I'm taking healing away from your church by doing this, but you have the money, so I mean, it's a fair trade, and I above all, I want to be fair with you. Thank you, Alistair. But I'll pay full price, and I hand over 4.5k.
Okay. They take your money and head in the back and bring to you a beautifully designed wand. It has splashes of red, not unlike blood, but very much more decorative than gory, as well as gold elements that swirl around. There is no crookedness to this wand. It is pure and holy, and they present it to you on a pillow. This is yours to take then. We'll be able to, in time, recreate a new wand for our own use with the donations you've created, plus upkeep for the temple.
And maybe a little for the poor?
Oh, yes, of course. The upkeep of the temple includes helping those who require redemption.
I'm very pleased to hear you say that. You guys have probably increased the likelihood that we'll live. And I thank you for that. And I bow deeply. I'll take my leave now. And I turn around and
The
leave.
healing light guide you.
Alistair does not bow and just does a turn on his heel to walk after Vare.
Pretty boy didn't woo people with his words.
No, Pretty Boy doesn't like the church.
You don't believe in redemption.
Well, that's also
I'm speculating.
Vare goes, I hope you take care of the poor. And they go, yeah, we'll take care of those who want redemption. Fuck off.
Well, I already covered the rest of the poor. And I'm getting a wand of cure moderate wounds here. So
When they walk out and the doors shut behind them, Alistair just openly says, you know, I never did much like the gods and the followers.
Well, I figure I reckon they're real, but I mean, as long as they gave me what I wanted, I was expecting to pay this. I way lowballed them to see if they would part for way lower than it should be.
My friend, I don't want to ruin your optimism, but the gods did not give you that. Your coin purse did.
Well, there's the argument about how the thing was made, but I don't really care about religion, so I really don't have a horse in the game, so to speak. As we say as we walk out, and now we're out.
We say as you walk to your horse.
Right.
With the literal
actually,
horse in the game.
before I walk to the horse, I walk over to Cece and hand her the wound of cure moderate wounds. Here you go. That'll keep us alive.
She kind of like looks down at it, looks up at him, and says, "I can still do that. Do you want to hang on to it?"
I can't really use it. It's more for people that so they don't have to spend spell slots on healing. You know?
I understand that.
Because you can just use this, like
Yeah.
instead of using your spells. I mean,
Yeah,
it's true.
But if I get hurt, who's gonna heal me?
A potion down your throat.
Or the wand in somebody's hands? Is it only people who can
It's
cast it can use it?
Well, it's sort of, if you have the spell that you know, I was talking a little bit with the cleric, and they were suggesting this, then you can just use it, but a certain amount of skill is required. Okay, out of character, if you don't have use magical device, if you don't have the spell in your spell book, you have to make a use magical device roll. And
Oh,
if you
okay.
if you fail, it fizzles. So it's better for somebody who has the spell in their spell book, like you, to hold on to, and kind of use it instead of your spells. You feel me? And when you're out of magical energy.
From, because I've never used one of these in, especially in Pathfinder. Do
You
the
just
spells come back
point
at the end?
point and click.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I get that.
no,
but-
no. No,
Oh.
there's a bunch of charges.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like
a wand has 50
75.
charges and
50.
can be consumed completely.
Yeah, it'll be consumed after its use, but that's cool. I mean, I want this to be in our. I think it's a good. I was talking to a cleric, and they were really talking up wounds, or wands. Huh. So I got one for you. Here you go.
Okay. Great. But if I'm down, do we have potions to get me back up so I can use the
Yes,
wand?
yeah. I've got 3 of them.
Okay, good to know. Good to know that we have backup goo, I guess.
Yeah, and I still have a bit of money. Not too much money, but enough to keep us fed and stuff.
I mean, if I had the choice between being fed and your cooking, I think I would lean more towards your cooking.
I can't. I mean, we could hunt it all down, but sometimes we might want to not spend the time cooking. So that's all
true.
I'm saying. Let's head on to the Seeing Eye to get your headband.
Yay, headband!
Yep. So we were talking about that as we were saddling up to go, and as we were leaving. So I handed it to her.
that there's like this plastic container just full of healing potion, and whenever the healer drops, Vera can just like squeeze it out like Go-Gurt straight into Cece's mouth.
I'll just plug her nose. Oop. Down the hatch.
All right, Seeing Eye.
Yep, indeed. Clop, 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 clop. Horse noises.
And you make your way from Keystone, crossing across to Beacon's Point. Nearing the coast, where you can see there is a lighthouse, and you make your way to this little square with a fountain, center, I suppose, where nearby you do find a gaudy, if false, shop with a wide opened eye as its iconography. A beam of light coming out as if to mimic the nearby lighthouse.
Is there like a window with like display items?
Yes, there is a window of display items.
May I cruise through it quickly while everyone's dismounting and or walking?
Sure. You see a few necklaces of various proportions. Some of them look more mundane than others. There are some boots and some gloves. And there is one set of rings of varying magicality as just a teaser for what's in there.
Artanis is gonna kind of whisper to Cece and say, Cece, how taxing would it be for you to I'm looking for a magical item. It seems that this resurrection the gods aided you with has changed me somehow, and I've lost my magical abilities. I don't want to impose, but would you be able to infuse a ring with your magic?
I've never tried, but I think it would be possible. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I suppose I'll just knock on wood and hope they have what I'm looking for. And Artanis will open the front door and kind of like halfway look in, but like he's kind of holding the door for his party to also walk through.
Right.
You don't have to worry about me. I wouldn't be caught dead walking into a shop like this with its stature. No offense to you all shopping here, but I trust my own sources.
That's fair. Cece, then will it just be the two of us, or will you be coming in as well, Vare?
Nah, I'm just gonna stay outside.
You two get to have a text conversation outside while we do the RPing now.
Perhaps. Well, go on.
All right, what does the inside of this shop look like?
Well, the inside of the shop has it is lined with sheets of cotton with details superimposed to make it seem as though there is silk. There are low shelves so you can see across the whole of the shop with various items that would be in various slots, as well as a few items that you are pretty sure are most certainly magical behind the counter.
So
Where-
this is definitely pretty
yeah.
shady. Okay.
Maybe. Imagine a tourist trap.
Yep. Gotcha. There's like Magnumar keychains and all that stuff. Like, it has all those names. None of them say Mackenzie on it.
And
Or Cece.
there are labels for magical items throughout the store of dubious truth to them. There is also a sign saying no returns on the counter, on the front counter.
It's always a good sign.
The best signs.
Yeah. Is the shop owner in view, and are there any other customers?
Yes, the shop owner is in view, and there is one other person in here. They are human. White skin tone. They don't particularly look like they have the Magna Marian attire. They're not exactly in fashion.
And this is the shopkeeper we're talking about, right?
This is the additional
Oh, the other person.
customer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Because they're a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The person at the front, the counter is a man who holds himself very proper and has fancy robes similar to that of the nobles or other higher living individuals within the Alabaster capital or Naus district. Upkept hair. It looks quite nice from at least the other side of the room. And does see you walk in.
Okay. I guess timing-wise, does it look like the other customer is about to buy something, or they're perusing like a specific section of stuff?
It looks like they're mostly just perusing.
Okay.
They may get a closer look at something that piques their interest from time to time.
Seems like the shop owner isn't currently occupied. Did you wish to inquire about your headband first?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. And Cece will start making her way towards the back of the store.
Why, hello, you beautiful woman. Here to buy one of my various goods?
Hello.
I can see it would fit very well on you.
Oh, well, you are correct. I heard rumors that you may have a fancy headband that will help me become even more charming than I already am. Is that rumor true?
It may be.
Oh, just maybe.
I have just the thing. And he ducks down to pull out. Hold on. Yes, and he pops back up with a wonderfully ornamented silver headband with red and yellow gemstones within it. I believe with your standing, this is more your style.
Ooh, that is gorgeous. May I see it? And she will offer a hand.
Eyeing up your stature. No funny business, but I can see that you're into business, so yes, you may. And he hands it over.
I don't know if this is visible or not. Oh, I labeled that wrong. Wait, yeah. Can I tell that this is what I'm looking for?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh. I have to look something up.
Okay. Okay. Oh no, I made our GM have to Google, guys. This is not good.
What? I wasn't. I mean,
Are sitting outside the store and suddenly are hit with a heat wave as the shop blows up.
I'm diehard, so there's a very little chance that I'm dying. So.
Bear's like, this adventure's all about me now. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Hey,
Well, now I'm the only one, and I'm gonna have an adventure by my own self, and I'll get my cleric in here to help me out on my cool adventures. And you losers can't come.
Your point of death is exactly the same as everyone else's. You just stay up, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just able to act while that happens. But yeah, I can die. I mean, I was just saying. No, one blast is what I'm saying. Probably isn't gonna. I don't know. Unless it was like 100 d6 or something.
Surprise fireball.
Yeah, surprise mega death fired up ball. Lena inverse in this. Mega Desu. Let's see.
Totally not the GM seeing that as a challenge accepted moment.
Does it tell you whether you're... Wait, hold on. 1 second, I can check this too. Okay. So, as you reach out and you hold this headband in your hands, you watch as the shopkeeper points to a second sign sitting on the counter, saying, printed. No magic within the limits of this shop. However, as he is pointing this out, your swift action goes off anyway, as he wasn't quick enough to point it out. And you You don't find any properties of this item.
Oh, interesting. So he hands me an empty one. Okay. As he points to the sign, she gives her head a quick shake and she says, "Sorry, little new to all of this." And she kind of slides the thing across the counter and says, "I don't think this is my style. What else do you have?"
No, what seemed to be wrong with it? If you don't mind me asking.
It doesn't have enough oomph for me. I need something with more oomph. And this doesn't have enough oomph for me. You've seen me. And she gives like a little twirl. And she points to her crown. And she's like, I need something with more oomph. More pizzazz.
What is your modifier for your deception checks?
Ooh, good question. Oh, bluff, thank you. 9.
Okay. All right. Well, as you say that, you watch him go back down and put away the headband, and he comes back up with a smile that is much more put on his face than being a happy individual. As he reads into you and turns around to a different set of items where he pulls out a very similar headband, except the gemstones are red and orange. Perhaps this will be more of your style.
She kind of takes it and examines it. Can I... Can I get a read on him if he's finally given me the correct item?
Yeah, could I also make a check on that? I've been watching his sleaziness from here.
Give me both of your sense motive modifiers.
10.
Okay, don't just ignore that roll then. It's plus 16.
Okay, plus 16 plus 10. Okay, well, plus 16. Yeah, with that, you both see frustration and defeat in his eyes. This is probably more what you're looking for. He already knows the jig is up, and he won't be able to dupe you guys out of any more stuff.
She gives a bright smile. Says, "Wonderful. This is exactly what I've been looking for. How much is it?"
For a young peach like you, it's on sale for 4,000 gold pieces.
I need to double check, 'cause I'm pretty sure that's what... Yep. She just gives a bright smile, doesn't even argue at all, and puts 4,000 gold down on the counter without even batting an eye.
You won't regret this. And I'll take the coin purses.
She gives him a big smile and says, "I better not." And then she turns to Artanis. Says, "And what were you looking for?"
Would you happen to have any rings of spell storing in stock?
One second, ma'am, can I look at that again?
She tilts her head as she's holding the item and says, "Why?"
He just gets a close look again, examining it, and then backs up. No, nothing's wrong.
She gives him a very dark look. Says,
I said you wouldn't regret a thing.
it says, you know, if I do regret it, it could be really problematic. She kind of like looks around the store for a second and says, how much in here is flammable?
His light fear at the threats turns to a bit of malice. As he says, that won't be necessary. You have genuine product in your hands. Keeping his shopkeeper's smile, he turns his head slowly, along with his eyes, to Artanis, keeping the same smile on his face. Rings, you asked for, yes?
Yeah, a ring of spell storing.
I do carry those. They are a little hard to come by. It's a minor one, if that's of any issue.
It's not. That'll do.
He goes in the back and flips through a few things. Goes into a hidden drawer with a hidden latch to a hidden string, because this is one of his more expensive items. And pulls out a ring hold with 3 rings, plucking one of them off and putting the rest back. Genuine spell storing. And he puts it on the table with his hand, lightly covering it just in case you want to do,
Some identification spell or something.
No, snatch it and run away.
some good old ledger domain or such.
I suppose you've run into that sort of thief around these parts.
That I have.
Well,
You're not as dumb as everyone else that comes into here. And you do notice the other guy overhears and looks up like, what? There are a lot more desperate individuals around here.
well, seeing as this is probably one of your more prized possessions, I have some items to trade that hopefully will lower the price. And
Delightful.
Artanis walks over and takes off his gloves of improvised might and sets it on the counter. How much for these?
Let me pull that back up. Oh, Jesus. My computer froze.
Shopkeeper froze. His loss.
You can just move his hand out of the way and take the ring.
Everybody run!
Such strange people in this part of town.
But you're Artanis, not Dedrin. You don't have frost powers. Gloves of improvised might. And lastly, this. Okay. That would fetch your rings at 14,000.
All right. I think I've got just one more thing. I'll be right back. And
Okay.
Artanis walks out, kind of just passes by Ver and not Crimson, Alistair. The thingy switched back to Crimson Dagger.
You say it out loud. Did you?
No, I did not. I didn't say it out loud. Just narrating my actions.
If you break his cover.
No, I won't.
Good.
Artanis reaches into the back of the wagon and pulls out the Impaler of Thorns. And he's kind of just muttering, I see why you wouldn't be caught dead in here. The man's a sleazy con artist, but he does have what I'm looking for.
Well, sometimes those you don't want to deal with are the only ones you have to go to.
Indubitably. And Artanis walks back in begrudgingly. Alright, so he walks in with a spear. He keeps it kind of pointed towards the ceiling, but then he turns it sideways and sets it on the counter. Could you appraise
His eyes
this?
widen a little incredulously, but he does look at the spear, which I need to ask, has it been taken care of, or does it still have all of your blood on it?
That's a
Be
good
honest.
question. It doesn't have my blood. That's a good question.
I mean, it's probably caked in blood from everyone.
It probably does. It probably is caked in blood, but Artanis would.
I wouldn't mind a reach weapon. If you
Yeah.
won't take it.
He's gonna wipe it down and say, "Don't mind the blood. This was the spoils from an investigation that the police have already started submitting the paperwork on."
You adventurers are a weird bunch. As you're wiping, he's looking at the staff and spearhead itself. The Impaler of Thorns spear is made of dark wood, and its head is a thorn-like, wide-bladed barb. Its haft is spun, almost braided in a unnatural fashion, these vines with ornamental thorns across it. Wouldn't hurt to grab. They're, as I say, decorative. Oh my.
What kind of buyer do you think will be tempted by the purchase of this item?
Trust me, there are some rich foreigners who get a kick out of adventurers' spoils, put on a mantle and never seeing the light of day again.
Well,
I'll take it.
you may be
That
able to
leaves
mark it up fairly well.
5,000 for you to contend with for this ring, and he does slide it forward, still not taking his hand off.
Well, that's more within my price range. Artanis is gonna reach into his coin pouch and put 5,000 down and say no returns, correct?
None.
Does that apply to trade backs? And he's
We'll see how
extending
I'm
his
feeling
hand.
that day.
All right.
He'll take his hand and leave the
Alright.
ring inside yours.
Purchase is made. Now, I'm going to ask my friend here to walk outside your shop and respect your policies. And if it so happens that it's not recipient of her abilities, you have another friend. But for now, I'll hold this handshake in good faith. Artanis is going to hand the ring to Cece just to test to see if she can deposit like a mage armor or something into the ring.
I appreciate your patronage, but please never come in here again. I will not service you.
Not even if I bring another artifact like this. A bigger one.
We'll see if desperate times come around.
Hmm.
And I'm still
Don't take
good to
kindly
go.
to your threats. You've
An
gotten what you
insurance
want.
Policy. Can I assume that Cece's kind of at the doorway saying, "Oh yeah, this is the real deal"? Because I
I
haven't.
don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I'm kind of just waiting on that.
As much as Cece was a pain in this guy's ass, she wouldn't do magic in the store. She got asked not to.
Fair enough.
Yep, she would step outside and do the thing again and confirm that it's the actual it's an actual ring of spell storing, just to confirm that.
Very well. And a word of advice. The insurance policy on this place in this sector isn't going to cover this shop being burned down. I suggest you look for a better one. Good day. All right.
Is it the real ring that he said it was?
Do you test it? Oh, yeah, you do test it. Yes. Through the mystical, arcane, or, yeah, for you it would be arcane now instead of divine. Through the weave, you that this is a potent, if minor, magical item with a internal capacity much larger than the ring itself, waiting to be charged, so to speak, by up to 3 levels of spells. It is a combinational thing, up to a total of 3 levels put into it.
Got it.
A cantrip would count as 1 level in this case.
Okay. Yeah, okay, great. That's good to know. Can I try to put mage armor into the ring?
You may. Are you using any metamagic effects for it? Or just the standard casting?
Just standard casting.
You cast, and the weave which you now draw the power draw power from flows through you and through your blood, and the armor itself, in its arcane nature, finds its way almost cast within the ring.
Seems to be working.
Whoa. This is cool. Guys, we need more of these. Shield of the ring. This is really cool.
And you feel alright, Cece. Nothing's
Nice.
wrong with it.
No, it seems like he was true to his word, though it took a little bit to get to the truth. Yeah, this is exactly what this seems to be. And is there anything else that you want me to put in here? It feels like I could put a couple more.
Perhaps that can wait before we take our rest. But much appreciated.
Sure. And I'll just give this back to you. And I will place the ring back in your hand and kind of look at the rest of the group. Well, I've got my fancy headband. Arcanus has got his fancy ring. We've got a fancy wand. Is there anything else we need?
Currently, I need nothing. I will need to acquire a horse before we leave Magnamar, but that can be handled.
We can do that right now. Why not? It needs to be done. Might as well do it.
Sure. Are there any stables or anywhere we can go get a horse in Magnamar?
There are several. It's not a
Sure.
common place or a common profession, but I mean, horses are one of the main modes of transportation. So, yes, there are varying qualities of horses and horse shops.
Perfect. If I know of one, I would like to go to a reputable.
Probably a dealer to
Shop.
nobles.
So
there's one in the capital district.
so there's no used horse salesman that you're willing to visit.
Nope. Just the top of the line. He's looking to get into a Mustang.
But
Indeed. Thank you.
I actually wrote this down in my notes, what I want. Wait, did I? Or did I delete it? I deleted it from my notes. Oh, no, I didn't. I need a horse and saddlebags. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
So off to...
off to horses are us.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Gotta find a horse meat salesman.
On the way, Alistair just makes simple conversation to Artanis and Cece and probably says, like, so, how was your shop?
Yeah.
Sketchy, but we did get what we came for.
We did catch on to his
Sketchy.
act relatively quick.
That's always good.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish you were in there with us, Bear. I think you might have had some fun.
No offense, but I'm kind of glad I wasn't in the... I mean, we know he's bullshit now, but if we need to buy anything, I can still be the middleman.
You make a really good point.
Yeah, that actually brings up a really good point. If we need something bought, you could be the one to get it.
I wasn't in there. So, yeah. So, what did you? What was? I mean, he tried to sell you something that wasn't magical.
Yeah, he did. It was funny. And then
Hmm.
I kind of went, I don't know. My hand started getting hot and it didn't register that it was magical at all for me, and I called him on his bluff and he got kind of mad, but he did bring me the right one. So,
I see.
yeah, I can tell when things are magical now or not. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Cece, can I see your hand for a moment?
Sure. Still looks like a hand. She like holds up her hands.
Artanis grasps it, uh, and kind of pauses for a moment. Do you still sense any magic coursing within me?
Well, you're not an item, so I don't know if it'll work, but I can try.
Item.
Do I sense any magic in Artanis, like holding onto his hands?
Hold on.
Sure.
Are you attempting to use the unseen world?
I think I would try that first, and if that doesn't take, then I would use detect magic.
Okay. Well, it does feel weird. Like, immediately casting such, it does feel weird because this is meant for magical items. Though magical items can have sentience, so it's not impossible for it to interpret, but it is a very weird feeling trying to scan Artanis. But what you see back is not that of a magic item. You find magical quote unquote properties in the spells and abilities he could utilize, but it feels like as you pay attention to it, it changes and disappears. It's a fading dusk on Artanis's arcane lifeblood.
Her eyes kind of narrow in like thoughts and feelings and understanding, and then her expression softens to one of kind of mix a little bit of sadness, and she kind of like tightens her grip on Artanis's hands and says, "Well, it's there, but it's fading. Can I discern how fast it's fading?"
Well, you were kind of watching it in real time, watching parts of it disappear in real time. It doesn't seem to be sticking around.
Do I see it blip? Do I see it like end as I'm holding onto his hands?
You're perhaps not watching the end of it right now, just the rapid decline.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's fading, Artanis, and it's fading very fast. I'm so sorry.
No, that's alright. I just wanted to confirm my suspicions. It just hasn't felt the same ever since the resurrection. I'll make do. but some of my prior abilities seem to have just been a spurt in the moment. I don't know how this magic found its way to me in the first place, though I suspect it's something to do with my family's curse, as Opal put it.
It was there, and now it's going, and that's my fault. And I'm very sorry.
I don't think you need to apologize. I wouldn't be around if not for your resurrection and your sacrifice. So, I think the least I could do to make it up to you is to show you that I'm quite fine, and I'm going to make sure that you're fine as well.
Well, it wasn't magic that made you who you were. It's you. So you're here, and you're just gonna make the best of it. So the least that any of us can do is support you through that.
None of that was whispered if anyone wants to chime in, but
Yeah.
otherwise, we're on our way to the stable.
All right.
I'm sticking around.
I make
Too
note
far
of it,
with you
but
guys.
I'm walking.
Okay, I'm gonna call for a quick little recess.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to play on the monkey bars.
Yay!
Awesome. All right, recess. So be back in 10. So on the 20 mark.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, great. Be back on the 20 mark.
All right, so you all make your way up the cliff to the higher district, to one of the more better known locations for Alistair, to find him a steed for this journey. You do find the stables you are looking for, and while by its nature one of the more grungy places within the nobility, there is significant upkeep, and the horses all look a bit more preened than you would find otherwise. Hope Hope is not would not fit in here.
Oh, yeah.
She is much more loved and free spirited than the horses visible here.
Yeah, I pat her neck and I tell her it's never gonna be her again. Any rate, so yeah, I guess I'll help in the discerning of the horses for you there, Alistair.
Wonderful.
All right. A handle animal, perhaps, to find the best horse.
Could also ask one of the workers.
I'm just yeah.
If you'd like to assess on your own terms, I would give you a knowledge nature.
Nope.
I know you're not set with the knowledges.
That's good. Yeah. So maybe I can just. I don't know. Not much I can really do. I'll be there for to support you while you spend the money on a horse.
Well then, perfect. Go find a worker or someone taking care of the stables.
And you do find some of the almost children taking care of these animals. Yes, hello. What can we do for you?
Interesting. Is it just you all here? Do you run this shop?
No, it's not just us, but we have to keep the horses in tip-top shape.
Who runs this place? Perhaps
That's
you can fetch them.
Yes, I'll get him. Andrea, stay here. And
Do the kids look taken care of?
Yeah, and when we say kids,
they're
Like,
in their adolescence, maybe like slightly past, but not adult.
okay. As long as we're not having.
They're also not
toddlers,
emaciated. They're not like peasants. They're probably getting gifted this wonderful opportunity to move up in the world from a noble. They probably are residents of Low Cleft or the Dockway or such.
okay.
Nice. That checks out.
But in walks a rotund-faced man with some truly righteous facial hair.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay.
What can I-
will, yeah, greet him.
Do we get to see a
What can
picture of
I-
the facial hair?
See you for. No.
Okay.
We talking handlebar? We talking
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan's in front of us?
Yeah. Let me get you a horse, brother.
It's a full beard, and it is a pretty low beard, but it also kind of sticks out. Like, it doesn't just go down. It
juts.
very much fills out his face, which is, as I said, already rotund.
Okay.
Interesting.
So then, when he comes out, and he asks what he can do us for, I'll say, well, it is good to meet you, my good sir. I do find myself in the market for a horse, one that could hopefully carry some bit and be able to make quite the journey.
I think I can find a beast for you.
I'm not particular on color, but if you have any, what color is Vare's horse? What color's Hope?
She's a black mare.
Okay. If you have anything that might, if you have any horse that might fit my color patterns per se, I know chestnuts are pretty close to the color red.
He gives out a hearty chortle and comes up to you, patting your back and like escorting you through the stable. Well, we have a variety. You said you're looking not just for a riding horse, but one to carry a burden.
Yes, one that could carry some weight. Perhaps you sell saddlebags as well.
Best saddlebags we'd be able to supply you with.
Well, that'll do.
Yes, it will. Now, how about this little lady right here? And he pulls you up to a cinnamon-colored mare.
Okay.
Okay. I will look at my acquaintance Vare, and if it's like a stall, where there's like a stall, I'll kind of like maybe hold my hand out towards the horse, just slightly to get a feel of the horse, and I'll look at Vare and say, "Well, what do you think, my friend? You're the one, the horse. You know."
I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna really pretend like I'm doing something, and I'm gonna go up to the horse and stroke his mane or her mane, and see how she reacts.
Your friend's more knowledgeable about horses then.
Well, how does the horse react? Does it just stand there?
It gives a little bit of a fight, but it doesn't, like, attack you.
Okay. See what she thinks of you. It's all.
I will try and do the same thing Ver did. Go my hand across the mane.
Roll horse charisma.
The horse does seem to connect with you, and as it's got eyes on the sides of its head, one of its eyes keeps a firm lock on your face. It shakes a bit, but seems to acknowledge your presence, Alistair.
Well then, and he'll turn to the shop owner. What would be your price for this fine horse and a pair of saddlebags? And Alistair would also ask, and would it cost any extra just to house the horse here just for tonight? You see, I take leave from the city tomorrow, and will find my way here.
Well, your saddlebags and riding saddle combined would come to about 14 gold. And if you wanted to keep her for the night, we could make it 15.
That sounds like a fair deal to me. Ver, what do you think?
Sounds legit. How much for the horse? Did you mention that? I didn't.
The horse herself carries quite a heft of her own. If you'd like to own this beast, she'll cost you 200. But she can carry up to 2,000 pounds.
Pretty useful. He looks at Ver.
I mean, you could, and, what about battle? Is she spooked by battle?
That's a good question. The city is quite loud. How is she with noises and the riffraff?
Well,
I do hope you understand the questioning after all. You see,
I do.
It is dangerous roads out on beyond the walls of Magnamar. The reason I hired this here bodyguard to accompany me.
oh, of course. No, I can say that she's never personally seen any battle and isn't particularly trained to attack. But she shouldn't be spooked. She has a mind of her own, and she's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Well then, looks at Ver. If you trust the price and the man and the horse, then I think it sounds like a deal.
Again, I I got this for free. I got Hope for free, so I didn't buy her.
I see.
Yeah, I rescued her. It
Well.
was really quite nice.
I will, I can guarantee you a great, horse with this mare right here.
So with
My
that
family
total,
comes from a long line of horse merchants. It's in my name. Jarenif Stabler.
Stabler. Do I know the family?
Knowledge local. You don't know everyone. You're more
Right.
likely to know everyone in Ordelia than here.
Mhm.
You're loosely aware.
Okay. Well then, that sounds like a rather good sell from me. Would that be 215 total then for the equipment and the horse?
Yes, sir.
Well, then it sounds like we have a deal. And Alistair will hold his hand out. To shake.
He will shake back.
And as he pays the gold, he will also include 5 additional gold. And say, the extra is for the kind help your workers have given me. Make sure
see.
they get treated well.
I'll see to it.
And Alistair specifically wants to wait till the man like goes back into like a back room or an office, and when he's out of sight, he wants to find the kid who he was talking to in the beginning.
Sure.
So if that happens,
Yeah, you can find the two of them on working on taking care of the horse that you first saw them with.
okay. So he'll walk up to them and say, both of you, would you mind coming here for a moment?
No, not at all. And they do walk up to you.
Are you treated well here? Are you happy to work here?
Yes, Mr. Stabler gives us wonderful opportunities. It's going to help our families.
It's good to hear. And he will reach into his pocket and hand whatever kid is closest a piece of red fabric. And inside of it will be 10 gold coins. He will say, the gold is for you to keep, as excellent job with assisting me. And this, and he points to the red fabric, that is a gift from a friend of mine. Should you find yourself in any trouble, or should Mr. Stabler be not the good boss that he appears to be, that fabric there will help you. You wave it as a flag atop the shop, put it in your window, and someone will help you.
Okay.
Now, you lot have yourselves a good day. Ver, come on.
All right, let's go. go back out to Hope.
And when they're back with the party, he'll look at everyone and say, "Well, that is horse and equipment settled. Do you all have anything else you'd like to do, or would you like to visit me in my home?"
I think I've spent all the money I need to.
And I think we're ready to take it easy for a few hours before setting off.
Are we leaving so we're gonna leave, because I mean, if we leave now, we're gonna be leaving at night-ish.
No, sorry. My intention was to spend the night and then leave in the morning.
Okay, that's what I thought. Confusing, but we're good. Cool.
Okay.
And I'll lead them to my home within the capital district.
Yes.
Actually, I'll buy the ingredients for a nice dinner to bring back with us to eat for the night.
Okay.
How much? We could just, say that it happens because we're just about to ready to.
Yeah.
Let's say I'll spend 10 gold on dinner for all of us. Is that?
That'll get you a wonderful feast as well as some ingredients for a later date.
Yeah, and maybe a couple of drinks. Or something like that, but I'll spend 10 gold. That's been said, and that's gonna be done right about meow.
Yes.
Meow. Let's see. 10 gold.
All right. Is there anything any of you wish to, I guess, RP before nightfall, as there is the evening ahead of you?
Leading the party to his house, welcomes them in. It's nice little humble place. It's not too big. He doesn't really have any assistants. He says, "I do have drinks though. I have some wine. If you're wanting to cook, I do have a small little kitchen."
Nice.
There's not much. I don't really stay here often on account of other business, now that we are
Right.
behind closed doors, and locked doors and windows, might I add. But welcome to my home. Do have yourself some drink, and he walks to Artanis and says,
Not
"At
great.
some point, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to see you in my office, please. But first, enjoy yourselves, have some drink, relax. It is needed."
And I roll a 12 on cooking.
Okay.
All right.
It's, serviceable food.
Wonderful.
Cece's definitely your guinea pig for the night. I'll probably eat the food too, but Artanis would like to speak with Alistair as well, so he'd probably not rush, but he would eat promptly.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just save that roll for later and cook after, because I would like to know what's going down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can go right away, and then that roll will be later. That 12
Sure.
will be later when I cook. Yep. So here, let's. I don't like to eat when I have to talk to somebody. What's up, man?
Wait, did I say speak with Ver?
No, I was talking. I said I'm going in. This is to Alistair.
Did I say speak with Ver? I'm getting names mixed up.
Oh, maybe I'm mixed up. Maybe you were gonna talk to somebody, but
I think I heard.
And then Cece walks into the office.
Right. Okay.
This is a small office, you all. Go
Sorry.
enjoy the wine.
All right. See
No,
ya.
you're good.
Bye.
You're good. Yeah, the intent
I'm
was,
gonna go.
I think, for Alistair
Yeah.
and Artanis to have an audience.
I misinterpreted. I didn't hear things correctly, so
Yeah, at
that's
the
my
door
bad.
of the office, Alistair just grabs one of his good bottles of wine, hands it to Fair, and says, why don't you open this? I've been saving it for a special occasion.
All
Go
right.
enjoy it with Cece while we talk."
All right. And we go back out and enjoy the average meal that I prepared.
And as Artanis enters his office, it's kind of a cluttered office. It's a small room, couple bookshelves, a singular desk and chair with lots of papers on the desk. And he welcomes you in and closes the door behind you, and very specifically locks the door. And he says, "Don't worry, first off. If I was going to stab you in the back, it would have been done way earlier when you first entered the city."
I wasn't worried.
Perfect. Some people, when they are locked in a room with a known vigilante, tend to get worried. So I, at least in this one instance, will break the ice and say, don't be worried from the get-go. And plus, and he'll flourish his hands, and 2 daggers shoot out from his sleeves, and he'll just place them on the table. And I'm unarmed.
Well, I appreciate the gesture, but I've been on the receiving end of that sort of discomfort, as you can probably guess.
Mm-hmm. There is reason I've specifically asked to speak with you and alone. And he rummages through some of the papers on his table and finds one specific one, and kind of like palms it, his palm on the paper, and says, I haven't fully finished writing it. That is where you come in. I do not trust those within this city. I do not trust the fellow nobility. And as you have already learned, I do not trust lawyers, especially those within the City of Secrets.
Sure.
You may not be an active one. Some might consider you a criminal lawyer. But oddly, in that sense, I trust you more than the others, for at least if you were going to backstab me, you'd do it up front.
It's a strange logic, but I do follow it.
And that, with that logic, is why I would like you to be witness to this piece of paper and sign off on it with your name as the lawyer you once were.
Very well. What
And
is this piece of paper?
He sidesteps so you can look at a piece of paper, at the piece of paper. He says, I do not spend much time beyond the walls of Magnamar. Most of my work is done here, which is why I have taken the time to write this up, just on the off chance anything goes wrong. What you are reading and looking at is the last will and testament of Alistair Beaumont, the Crimson Dagger.
I see. Shall I make a barrister check? I think that seems oddly appropriate for this situation. To make sure that there's nothing corrupt lawyers can do to completely just Charlie horse this will.
You may.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, you read through this, and Alistair, this takes longer than you expected, or maybe as long as you expected. And Artanis, as you're running through the inscriptions, you note a few places of wordcraft that could be twisted.
I see. Okay, so I think I'll RP this with discretion, of course. These lines here, they'll need to be changed in the pediment building. I know a few people who have twisted similar wills to benefit criminal parties rather than charitable organizations. And this line here can be changed. There's a few others, but these are the major corrections that I suggest you make before we continue.
Well, I can promise you that this will not be found within the hands of those within the pediment building. As I would like to ask you to carry this out should I fall while we are together.
A small chill just goes down Artanis' spine, but he is a bit surprised. Why me specifically?
Well, for one, I don't know you. I only know of your deeds. I only know of what rumors are passed around. To me, you're a criminal. To me, you're a criminal who has fought side by side with me and has reformed. To me, you are a criminal who has done a lot better than most within this city. And considering the fact that, for one, I have not had a reason to deal with you, per se, already makes me trust you more than anyone else. Also, the fact that, well, really, you simply put, you already have reputation within this city. Not many people have already been proven to really like you. And I know that may hurt to say out loud. That is why I trust you more than most. Those who are looked down upon, those who are not trusted, those who are not liked, I seem to trust more, because everyone who are liked within this city could easily be false. Just those sucking up to those in power. You are not that. I am not that. And I also... Well, honestly, I trust that thing around your neck.
I see. Well, that it certainly does help. It's a strange reverse curse, if you may, but I understand your point.
And if I were to die beyond the walls of Magnamar, I do not trust my items to the fellow nobility within this city. Gods forbid that. And so, in a weird sense of fate, I'd sooner put my trust in a criminal.
All right. Well, I accept this burden and responsibility. And
Good.
hopefully it doesn't need to be carried out by me. but that will surely help carry out the wishes you have for the city.
Good. Well then, all that is needed, if you would not mind signing right here. And he points to a place right next to his already written signature.
Artanis takes I presume, a fancy fountain pen.
Yes,
on
with the
his
feather
desk.
and everything.
Right, yeah. And he writes his signature. And by chance, would you have a dagger on you? Actually, I'll just take one of the daggers that's on the table, kind of prick my thumb, and seal it on the space right next to the signature.
What a deal.
Perfect. And he'll wait for it to dry, and then he'll wrap the piece of paper up. And if you have like a shirt pocket, he sticks it into your pocket and says, "This is yours now."
I do have at least the shirt pocket.
Well, then he slips it in your shirt pocket and says, "Yeah, this is yours to carry now."
All right. I will stitch that up so that it does not fall out. I actually do have craft cloth. Very specific, but something I have. And reason why I was gonna come speak with you is it seems to be convenient that I'm holding what I'm after. Would you happen to have any spare daggers lying around that's perhaps a little heavier?
What do you mean by heavier?
Something that's more dense, possibly through a manufacturing error or through an alternate use of materials. Do you have a dagger that can be used to parry an attack?
Unfortunately, I would only really have what I'm already wearing. And he kind of like unbuttons his own noble outfit for a bit, and like Superman, like Clark Kent, kind of does that pull apart, and you see underneath his fancy clothing is his bandolier that is full of daggers.
Cortana's just holding the two daggers that you put down on the table. It's like, whoa, what was this gesture for?
Show you that I'm not currently armed.
You are a funny noble, Alistair.
If I wanted to grab more, I'd have to reach into my outfit. That really wouldn't work well in such a close space.
Well, okay, I'll give you that much. Then, in that case, perhaps I could borrow this dagger that I have pricked myself with.
Be my guest. Consider it a blood bond, considering what you've done.
Very well. I have some things to work on before our trek tomorrow.
Perfect. If that is all between us, I think I hear the sound of another bottle of wine being opened, and I don't know if I really appreciate that. So we should probably see what they are up to.
Yeah, let's.
Wouldn't do that. By the way.
As your office door is unlocked, we will see what happens following. In the next session.
Yeah. Lots of RP, lots of potential lore drops there.
And preparation.
Yeah. It felt very productive.
Mm-hmm. We bought all the things we wanted to buy.
I get to actually show you what I've been making in the next session.
Ooh, so excited.
Hooray. And perhaps we'll meet your partner. Or is that...
Unless you keep dilly-dallying.
I mean,
us.
We had to shop. We had to get a pretty horse. I mean, come on.
And we've never been known for being slow. Nobody's ever claimed that we were slow.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Getting back in the swing of things.
Yes, thank you so much. Session 50. This is awesome. We're halfway to 100. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Session
we're
50.
getting there.
We're all back for the new year. New book starting probably next session, I think, if I had to make a guess. But yeah, fantastic. And for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Goodbye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Oh shit.
Would you
Pi
like
says goodbye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube, if we're still going.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.